What up, Sambonani? And that means hello in my language. My name is Tabangam Kwanazi. And I know I always tell you my name, but like there are new people, people who don't know me. So I can't assume that you know me. But yeah, guys, into this video, there's something that I think is important, right? Like I was setting goals for Marvelous Media, for my company, for myself, and the things that we'd like to achieve. And while I was doing that exercise, I thought there's a lot of things that I can share that I'm doing that perhaps you can take for your own company. If you are a freelancer, you can take these and use them for yourself. Now, I was setting, long-term goals, obviously, short-term goals, and the immediate goals, like things that I need to do now. I need to eat, guys. I can't just live on dreams and goals alone, I need money. So I have some immediate goals and things that I need to do now, right? And so I'm going to break those down to you guys, and I'm going to make sure that I read some of them so that I don't forget the things that are important. Now, guys, I think that a lot of companies need to consider content marketing. And that's what we're doing now, creating educational content, evergreen educational content that we're going to host on YouTube. Now, here's what I've discovered from doing that. There's a video that's doing really well on my channel, and it was from a long form content video. That video was about 25 minutes or so, if I'm not mistaken. But then I broke them down into smaller videos, and one of those smaller videos picked up on Google and YouTube, and it's doing well for a channel of my size, which is quite small. And so I think that content marketing is important to have as a long-term strategy for your company. If you are a freelancer, it's something that you need to consider. Now, I've got an example for this. I know some lawyers that I've done business with, and I've spoken to them about this. But imagine you own a law firm, right? And perhaps you create a video answering 10 frequently asked questions, and you make that one long video. But you can then take that video and break it down into smaller pieces of content that are more digestible. And so from one video, you already have something like 10 pieces of content that are answering specific questions. And in time, if you are consistent and those start ranking on Google, those will start bringing in clients for you. And so content marketing is something that we are taking really seriously this year, creating content. And in the case of my channel, that is gear reviews, that is tutorials, that is entrepreneurial videos like this one, right? But all of them educational content. I think that this is a strategy that every company and every individual should be exercising. So if you are a freelancer, this can work for you. Create content. If you are a small business owner, you can do the same thing. But that's the first one, man. Content marketing is important for a long-term sort of goal. I know that this is not going to give me immediate results, but with consistency and time, I will not need to start hunting for clients. And so this year, I had to prioritize and drop some clients that I was working with and save a bit of time so that I know that every Friday I come to the office and we create content. I might be losing money now, but in the long term, we'll make all that money back. And so I think that content marketing is important as a long-term strategy. Now, guys, let me give you a practical example. Let's say you work on your YouTube channel, you end up having, let's say, 10,000 subscribers. Now, if you convert 2% of those 10,000, you would have 200 people that are ready to buy from you. You didn't need to market, you didn't need to do anything. You launch a product, you launch, let's say, an online course. That's the power of having an audience. You can monetize them anyhow. So content marketing will build you an audience, and you can monetize on that audience later. So if you convert, let's say your conversion rate is 2% and you've got 10,000 subscribers, it means you have 200 people that are ready to buy from you. So if you're launching an online course, you already have 200 students. It's important to think of it in that perspective. Now, let's say you're charging 1,000 rands for that particular course. If 200 people buy that course, you have made 200,000 rands, and then you can take that money and use it to market the course further. That's just, a practical example that I wanted you to think about. The importance of building an audience and content marketing more especially. So this is something that I think is important for you, for your company to have as a long-term strategy. Now, another benefit of content marketing is you create long form content, but then you can break that content down into smaller digestible pieces that you can upload on all these other platforms. So in my case, I'm focusing on YouTube, but then I know that I can take that content and put it on Instagram, on LinkedIn. Now I have pieces of content for all my other social media platforms. So creating content for one platform is important because you will then end up having the opportunity and the ability to grow on multiple platforms simultaneously. So content marketing, that's the long-term goal that we have, and that is something that we're taking seriously this year at Marvelous Media. I had to drop some clients that were giving me problems. I was like, man, these guys are wasting my time. Let me take that time and invest it in creating content. And I know that in the long term, it's going to pay off. So content marketing, that's the long-term goal that I think every company should have. Let's move on to the short-term goals that I have for myself and for Marvelous Media, and that I think that most companies can do with this particular strategy, right? It's a short-term goal, but it's also a strategy that you can implement for your company. And this strategy is creating digital assets. And I'm not talking about NFTs on this video, though I don't think that would be a bad idea for you to look into. But in this video, the digital assets that I'm talking about are, creating online courses, creating templates, that users can use. So let me just talk about what we're planning on doing. I have about 3 courses that I want to create this year as part of my short-term goal. There's 3 courses that I need to create, one in web design, one in web development. So the other one is Adobe XD, the other one is WordPress, and the other one in content creation as a whole, right? It involves shooting and video editing, right? So video production and video editing. So these are the 3 courses that I want to create this year, and they will be digital assets for Marvelous Media. So we will not be dependent only on money that we get from clients, but we can generate an income even while we sleep, right? It's a way of creating passive income. So focusing on creating digital assets is a strategy that every company should have. For me, that's creating online courses. I've got about 3 that I want to create this year, so that we're not only dependent on one source. COVID came, a lot of people did not have clients and they lost their revenue. So if you implement this strategy and you create digital assets, it doesn't matter, man. COVID comes or goes, you still have a stream of income. Your company is not dependent only on client work. I think that businesses need to consider this. Create digital assets. In my case, that's online courses, but for you, it could be something different. For me and Marvelous Media, that would be online courses, that would be templates, right? Resume templates, websites templates, and all those sort of things. So creating digital assets is a short-term goal that we have, and it's something that we are working towards this year. We already have about 10 or so, I think, resumes that we've created, but obviously we will announce all of that at the proper time. But I think that companies really need to consider digital assets. You make money from anywhere in the world at any time, so you're not dependent only on one thing. Right, and so obviously first quarter, I plan to create a WordPress course, WordPress web development course. In the second quarter, I plan on creating the content creation course, video editing with Adobe Premiere. Obviously, there's going to be other topics that we need to cover, like lighting and sound and all of those things, right? But that is in the second quarter of the year. That's what I plan on creating. And finally, on, either the 3rd or 4th quarter of the year, we will need to create a course on Adobe XD. Now, I can use XD personally, right? My portfolio website, I designed it with Adobe XD, but I'm still not comfortable enough to teach Adobe XD. So I need a few more things. I need to practice a bit more so that I'm comfortable enough to teach it. But these are the 3 courses that I need to create this year, and these are our short-term goals as a company. Obviously, I've got a team that I work with, right? And obviously, they're going to come with their own courses as well. I know that Paulo is working on a Photoshop course, which we're going to announce and bring to you guys when the time is right. But digital assets for your business are important to have. Now, guys, it's all good and well to speak about goals, short-term goals and long-term goals, but we need to live. We're living in the now. I must put food on the table, and there are things that need to be paid for. So the immediate plans of actions, right? Like immediate goals that we have as a company that we plan on doing, right? Like these are things that I need to do now, like between now and March, between January, now in Jan and March, these need to be showing some fruits. So we're not living on dreams only. It's good, content marketing and digital assets for business. All that is good and well. But you need to pay bills now. And so what we are planning on doing now is to create sort of like, classes, right? Like have classes where I physically teach web design and web development using WordPress, invite students. But now I think that, obviously we have clients that we're working with. And so we're going to continue with that. Some, freelancing work that I do on the side, I'm going to continue with that. But the immediate goal that I have is to start sort of like, a mini school where I'll be hosting 10 students. And I'm going to be teaching them how to build and create websites. It's going to be a 4-week course. So they're going to build and create websites the first 3 weeks. And then in the last week, we will design a resume for our students, and we will have corporate pictures for them, right? So that when they graduate, so to speak, so that when they leave us and they are ready to start applying for jobs and, acquire those positions that they need to acquire. But that is a short-term goal. That is something that we are currently working on, having those classes. That's the immediate plan of action that we have. So even though you might have dreams and you might have ideas and you might have visions, but live in the now, right? I think that this is the best way that we can make money right now. The environment allows it, the COVID restrictions are not that much, so we can have physical classes, and that is something that we are planning on doing. But guys, the biggest dream that we have, or that I have, is to have our own digital media academy. Having studied from the University of Johannesburg, I've seen the gaps that exist in the market, and I think that I'm well equipped to close those gaps. And so in the long term, the dream here for Marvelous Media is that we're going to have our own digital media academy. So guys, tell me, which of these goals or strategies that I spoke about that you found valuable? Was it number 1, content marketing? Did that resonate with you? If that resonates with you, on the comments below, I want you to put content marketing. Is it the second one, having digital assets? If that's the one that resonated with you, on the comments below, I want you to put digital assets. Or is it the final one, immediate goals, where you need to work now? So if that's the one that resonates with you, go to the comment and say, I will put work in now. Because hopefully this video brought you some value. These are the thoughts that I have for this week. And if it brought you value, then I'm glad. But yeah, cheers for now. And God willing, I will see you in the next one.